Alrighty, hello Pisces for your general energies reading for September 2026. I know we're still in August, but I've got a couple of trips coming up, some other stuff that is going on in my life, so I thought it would be a good time to just get ahead and do the September reading. Since we're moving towards the end of the month. So we're going to see first what the general energies of the month are going to look like, and then I'm probably going to pull any challenges you might be facing and then any opportunities. And if need be, I will clarify with the Simplicity Lenormand deck. So we're going to be using the classic Rider-Waite Tarot. Oh, okay. About 6 cards here. 2 more. Oop. Okay. And 1 more. Pisces. Ooh. Okay. That one flipped out. Okay, perfect. So, let's have a look at what you got. Oh, actually, I pulled 7, so we'll have 7 cards. Looks like 6 to me. So right off the bat, it could be that you find something out that's like unexpected, because we do have 7 cards instead of 6 cards. You have the Queen of Cups, the Hierophant, the 10 of Cups, the 5 of Cups, the Fool card, and the 3 of Pentacles, and the Star. So what I'm seeing here is that there's definitely an opportunity for happiness here. You have the Star, and the fact that it is like so close to the 10 of Pentacles just indicates like a wish fulfillment that you are going to be experiencing. It seems like something happened in your life that you're trying to move past, or like you might for like a little while be kind of swallowed up in the moment because of the 5 of Pentacles, but overall you're starting a new beginning. My inclination, because the 3 of Pentacles are here, is that like this situation kind of has to do with like work, or maybe like working with others, like collaborating. So perhaps maybe there was a project that didn't work out, and it was really disappointing, but because that project didn't work out, you're now moving towards like a new project, or maybe a new job that is gonna like be your wish fulfillment. I'm seeing the Queen of Cups as you, so somebody who is pretty balanced within their emotions. The Queen of Cups also gives like the full cup towards something, but she keeps it covered because she just doesn't give like the full cup towards anyone. So I see that as you carefully presiding over your energies, so like kind of being a little bit more cautious as to where you put your energies. Whereas the Hierophant right next to it, it seems like the energies coming off of the Hierophant are like outside energies. So maybe there is like the reason the project didn't work out is because of like a more traditional figure coming in and saying, hey, like I don't like these big ideas that like you're doing, so I'm going to cancel that project. But then you find somebody else who is willing to invest in your ideas. Hierophant is kind of more of a traditional card in the aspects of like conformity. He is like a priest seated on top of there, so it almost reminds you a lot of structure. So it's kind of like the energies of the Emperor card, but in like a more spiritual aspect, like in a slightly less harsher aspect is what I'm getting. But overall, like, because the Star is here and the 10 of Cups is here, I think this is like a pretty good reading for you, even though there is some sort of loss that like you are experiencing. Let me see what, or actually, Before I see what your challenges are, I think I am gonna just clarify a little bit more on the Hierophant, because like, even though this does seem like outside energies, I kind of want to know more about it, like what kind of outside energies. Like I gave the one example, but maybe it could be something else. Maybe it could be like a parent, or it could be like somebody in your romantic life that's like a little bit more traditional. So I'm just gonna use the Ethereal Vision stack to clarify what is Hierophant for this. So what is this Hierophant for? I just want one more card. Oh shoot. Okay, well 3 cards came out. Okay, so, 4 actually. Okay, so the universe gave us a lot of cards. Got the 2 of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune, the 10 of Swords, and Temperance. Okay, so that's interesting. You have the 10 of Swords, which is usually, like, most people see it as a bad card, but in the traditional Rider's Waite deck, he actually is holding his hands in the sign of blessings. So it means something's coming to an end, but that it is a good thing that this is coming to an end, because blessings will happen later on. So that definitely works in correlation with the rest of the cards that you got. Specifically with like the Star and the 10 of Cups. So it looks like there's like a choice that you're gonna have to make. So I think the example that I gave earlier was actually pretty spot on. So there's probably like a project or something, a relationship, something that like you have to move on from and essentially make that tough choice, and acknowledge like the loss with that. But with the Wheel of Fortune, like the wheel goes down, but it also goes up, and not a lot of people realize that. I think the Temperance card is advising you to like be balanced with your emotions at this time. Oh, and I almost completely forgot, because I just like immediately jumped into this reading, but I forgot to highlight that like in September there are a couple of major events that are going to be happening, that is probably also influencing like what is going on in this reading. So we are going to have a new moon on the September 10th to the 11th, but then like on the 22nd to the 23rd it's going to be Mabon, or the autumn equinox. So it's kind of ironic that this Temperance card came out, because during Mabon, it is a balance between like the day and the night. So I just think that's interesting that you have like a balancing card here, and then also like we are going to be having Mabon, the equinox, come out. We're also going to be having Neptune at opposition on September 25th, and then on the 26th we're going to have the full harvest moon. And also, like, thinking about it as well, Mabon is considered like the second harvest. So we had Lunasa recently, and that is usually like considered the first harvest, where you're harvesting things that like you're working on, but at the same time it's not too late to start on like something new. So I find it interesting that like Mabon is coming up as like the second harvest. So I feel like because that is showing up, it's almost the universe saying to take like any information from what you've learned from this experience as you move forward, because it's like, even though it might be like a bad loss or a good loss, there is always something to gain from it. Okay, very interesting that these all came out with the Hierophant. I do still see the Hierophant as like some sort of traditional structure that you have either like in your work environment or like in your relationships though. Okay, so now that we have that, we are going to have a look at what is going to be the main challenge for Pisces during the month of September. What are they going to need to know about the challenges that are going to be happening during that month? Oh! Well, that wasn't intentional, but can I just get 6 cards this time? Thank you. What are the challenges that Pisces is going to be faced this time? One more card. Or during the month of September. Ooh, whoops, that is way too many. Way too many cards, universe. Let's just focus on trying to get one last card. Oh, okay, fine. We'll take the 2 cards. Okay, so your challenges. Ironically enough, the Queen of Cups and the 3 of Pentacles came out again, and now that I'm noticing, the card that's hidden under the 8 of Swords is the Star. So that is the extra card that came out. And then you have the Hangman, the 8 of Cups, and then Death. Okay, so it is definitely focusing in on that. There's something like work related that like you need to move on from, or something like related to collaboration that you need to move on from, and it is going to like transform your life. So the 8 of Cups, you're walking away from this situation, and also it's the same thing too with the 8 of Swords. Like, you're not looking back, you're moving towards something that is going to be a wish fulfillment with the Star here. The Queen of Cups and the Hangman just kind of remind you to like remain balanced, but also you don't necessarily like need to do anything. The Hangman kind of is the one person who lets the universe kind of like determine his fate. Ironically enough, it is also associated with Pisces. So it's kind of letting go of that like control and trusting that like the universe has your best interests at hand. Especially with this death and transformation energy. A lot of people really don't like the Death card, but it's not what it seems, and it is reminding me of like the 10 of Swords, where it's like, yes, something has to come to an end, but it has to come to an end so that like a new beginning can blossom. But yeah, that is actually like really straightforward. So we'll look at what your opportunities are going to be then during the month of September. Like, what is something that, you know, you can work on, you can learn from, and it doesn't necessarily have to like pertain to work. Is there going to be like a new relationship in your life that's coming? Yeah, so what are the opportunities for Pisces? Is there something spiritual too, like a spiritual opportunity? Oh, that flew out fast. Just do 6 cards, please. 6 cards. Oh, okay. What are the opportunities for Pisces in September? Oops. I almost wanted to say 2023 for some reason. I think that was also the last time that I personally posted videos on this account specifically. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, perfect. So maybe there's something back in 2023 that is being brought to your attention. Okay, so we have the 10 of Wands, the 10 of Cups, the 3 of Swords, the Knight of Cups, and the 6 of Pentacles, along with the Devil card. Okay. So I'm reading this as like there's an opportunity to like let go of burdens that have been put upon you in the past, whether that is like through a previous relationship or through a work situation or through like a family situation. There's some sort of like trauma, or well, trauma is kind of a big word. There's some sort of like trauma or situation that like you've gone through that like was toxic and puts like those burdens on your mind as like you're trying to move forward. And this is signaling that like this is a really good time to reevaluate things, journal about them, and kind of like let them go, so that way you can move forward, because there is an opportunity. This Knight of Cups could signal like a potential emotional opportunity. So this could be like a brand new relationship, or maybe and it doesn't have to be romantic either. It could be romantic, it could not be. And seeing it and the Six of Pentacles denotes like generosity. So not letting like negativity or any other things interfere with like you being a generous and like kind person. And I'm seeing that like letting go of that burden and continuing to just like be kind and like be balanced is what's gonna bring you like the most happiness, because like we can't control other people and we can't control like things that happen to us. We can only really like work on ourselves and move away from things that are like toxic or harmful in our life, and that are burdensome. And personally, I just want to say too that like it is never perfect. You don't like experience, you know, something and then all of a sudden like everything is gonna be okay. It doesn't really work like that. You know, pain and trauma doesn't really work like that. But it signals that like as long as you're trying to get better, like that's really the main point of like what matters. So yeah, Pisces, just make sure to like take things day by day and release as much as like you can. But if, you know, you're experiencing like pain and you maybe go back into a toxic place, understand that like sometimes that happens, but it's about like how you rewire your brain in terms of like how you approach your life to make it better. But yeah, I think I want to end things by asking the Lenormand cards like what is the overall like outcome of this? So like what is the overall outcome that's going to happen in the month of September for Pisces? And personally, I'm still learning how to use Lenormand cards, so I will be looking at the guidebook to kind of like piece things together. So if I could just get 3 cards for Pisces to know the outcome of what is going to happen during the month of September 2026. I have one more. Okay, perfect. Okay. So, oh, you got happiness, fish money, and then mountain blockage. Okay, interesting, interesting. Let me look at the card, or let me look at the like little booklet for a minute. It'll probably go in like number order, because what's interesting about like this Lenormand guide is sometimes you can read like one card and it won't like have an association between like this one, for example, but when you read another one it might have like the same association. So let's look at flowers. Happiness, blessing, celebration, joy, appreciation, invitation, beauty, and gift. Flowers are medicine for the soul. They always make you feel better. Flowers symbolize the beauty of life, a happy time, blessings, and a feeling of joy. It is lightful and optimistic. It indicates a happy time full of fun and an invitation to go out and enjoy yourself. When the flower card appears in a reading, it can mean that celebrations are near, a gift is about to be received, or someone appreciates you. This card can also mean a marriage proposal depending on the surrounding cards. So we have flowers and then fish. So that combination indicates a monetary gift, a bonus. And then let's look at mountains blockage. 21. 21 mountain blockage, difficulty, an enemy, obstacles, something big, problems, unmovable, delays, and hardship. Hurdles and obstacles are sometimes placed in our path to test how much we want something, Do not give up. The Mountain in Lenormand indicates difficulties. This card has a negative aspect and gives other cards near it a negative undertone. Just as a mountain blocks access to a valley, the Mountain card represents problems, things that are hard to change, and blockages in life. This card can indicate delays or describe complex or problematic situations. When defining the characteristics of a person, the Mountain can signify a big enemy, someone who is stubborn, hard-headed, or tall. And then there are no connections for the other two cards for Mountain. And then we'll look at 34, Fish. Money, finance, profit, value, nautical fish, wealth, selling, trading, spending, receiving money, things flowing, lucrative, prosperity. True wealth comes from the things that money can't buy. The fish card in the Lenormand represents finances and money flowing in or out. The fish card can also signify things related to the sea, such as water, fishing, boating, etc. It is seen as a positive card and represents lucrative income and valuables. Okay, so I think overall what I'm seeing from the Lenormand is that, like, essentially from the whole reading, there is going to be obstacles of, like, letting something go within your life, letting it go, releasing that blockage, and then once you release that blockage, then you're gonna receive happiness. You know, you could receive recognition and then money, like, associated with that. I think that's why I'm so heavily, like, caught on the career aspect. I think this reading is more, like, career oriented, but you can try and, like, take it as, like, a love reading. That's just, like, how I'm receiving it, because, like, if we look at the fish card, it said that, like, it's not just, like, monetary things, it could also be other things in your life that bring abundance. But I think as long as you're working on letting go of the things that, like, no longer serve you, then your life is definitely gonna get better during this next up and coming month, Pisces. But yeah, that's really all I have for you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!